Good morning, good afternoon or good evening whenever you're watching this. I'm Autumn Blossom and welcome back to the channel. So today is the 4th of January and in my previous video I said that I wanted to start a new story, so today is the day that I'm gonna just start that, because my plan is to really plan it out and really think about it before I even start the writing process, so I best start as early into the new year as possible. Today we are focusing on world building. It has been snowing, so I will be going out for a walk as well. Yeah, let's get to it. So there is a change of plans already. My printer decided that it didn't want to work. I had to reinstall the ink cartridges, I had to take the whole printer head out and clean that, and then it just decided that it didn't want to connect to my computer. And because it's a Kodak, I can't connect it to my MacBook. If any of you actually do know how to do that, please let me know, because I feel like a 50-year-old woman who can't connect a printer, and it's driving me up the wall. So I managed to print off one worksheet out of the 3 that I found that were printable, and then there was also an online one that I can do. So for now I'm going to do this one and the online one, and perhaps skim through the ones that I couldn't print. It's kind of annoying because this one printed, but the one from Reedsy didn't, and that's the one that I really wanted to have. Okay, so this worksheet is from the New York Book Editors, and it is an article on Fantasy World Building 101, how to create a breathing world for your fantasy novel. And it's a big article on it along with a worksheet. So I had a quick skim through the article, but obviously I was just mainly there for the worksheet. I kind of already know what I've got to keep in mind and stuff like that, but it's just to have it all planned out and thought about, because there's I think there's a question down here, on the very last page is, how does the world smell? And to be fair, I never really give it much thought, so it's kind of nice to have these kinds of questions to answer. So yeah, I will also be looking through obviously the other ones just to see what's going on, but with the fact that my printer decided to have a hissy fit this morning, I don't know how much I would get done. It always annoys me. As soon as I want to do something productive, something always gets in the way. So yeah, let's get on with it. So I have filled out what I can on this worksheet. There were some questions that I didn't completely know how to answer, and to be fair, it's kind of come to my attention that I know pretty well what I want to do with this. It's more the story that I need to focus on. The world itself is there in my head. I know what I need to write about. And I know partly the main conflict. Without giving too much away, I don't have a main baddie, and I also need to give my main character a reason to step up. I think I've got to do a little bit of research into the people that I'm using, because I'm going to be using the fair folk as a kind of source material, and they are going to be characters within the story, and I need to do a bit of research into their world and their lore and things like that, because I have bits and pieces, from the Shadowhunter series and from Holly Black's work, so I do need to do my own research into that society of people before I can actually write, because I know they have a plethora of information and laws and rules and things like that. So I think rather than potentially filling all this out, I'm going to do that kind of research, because it's still world building and things along those lines, and create a document on Google Docs. So I need to research what fair folk are like for us in the real world where they're folklore, and then kind of manipulate and edit that to imply that they're real, and to kind of decide how they would react with people in their world, and what the relationship between humans and fair folk would be, or is for some people out there, if they're a part of our lives on a daily basis. So I'll probably be looking into paganism and Wicca and general folklore as well, because I know that there's bits and pieces that I can probably take from those and create a world from. Also, bringing up Wicca and paganism, I'm going to use that religion as kind of the groundwork for my own religion, because of the values that those religions have is very similar to what I believe the fair folk would have, or the good neighbours would have, however you want to call them. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of research into that, I think. Luckily I made that journal for my Golden Shadow series, and I'll link the video of me making it up above, but I did a whole segment on research into the fair folk and things like that, so I already have bits and pieces ready to go. I just need to really delve into it for this story, because the society is going to be such a big factor. I normally start with the characters and then work the world around the characters, but this time I'm doing the world and then the characters. Like, I know I've got 3 characters that I definitely need, and then I need a side cast, and I forgot how much work it is to start a new world. Fantasy's hard, man. So yeah, I'm gonna do some research. So I've been at this for a couple of hours now. There's a lot of lore and research to do. So I think I'm gonna go for a walk, because the snow will melt soon, knowing England. And that means that I'll get like a nice fresh start. There is a lot about fairies that I need to research, and obviously they have changed so much through our time on Earth, from creatures that are tricksters to Tinkerbell and fairy godmothers. So I am definitely going to have to focus on that when I come back. I have also asked to borrow a book from my mum, because she has some work from Brian Froud. He did a few books, I'll pop them here, about fairies and the fair kind and stuff like that, so hoping I can get some bits of information from that. So yeah, going for a walk. So back from the walk, it's lovely and warm in here. I'm going to start watching some YouTubers. I did look to see if people like Harmony Nice did anything, but she doesn't seem to work with fae folk in her practice. So it's going to do a bit of, it's going to take a different bit of searching. There are a few podcasts talking about it, and they obviously bring up some books and things to look into, so it's going to be interesting. I think I'm going to start with some shorter videos. I think I found like a 45-minute one that's about the history of fair folk and go from there. So what intended to be a day of world building has kind of sidetracked, thanks to the printer, into research, which is still good. There are a few documentaries that I'm going to watch now, but they're all quite long, so I will be losing daylight soon to speak to you guys. And to be fair, there isn't a whole lot I can tell you. There is a book that I will be reading, the Fairy Census, to kind of get to grips with the world that is believed to be there. So yeah, why do these videos never particularly go to plan? It is mental. Didn't realise, well, I kind of knew what I was getting myself into, but also didn't at the same time. I've got a lot of work to do. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you like what you've seen, leave a like and a comment down below. If you have any information on fair folk and the lore behind all of that, please leave it down below. It's great help. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.